So hello everyone, once again from the dystopian monarchy of the United Kingdom, but today we are once again talking about Elon Musk. Now I wanted to make this video for a while because it's pretty funny how badly he's run Twitter, but something I started to notice recently was on like random tweets, you'd get loads of verified accounts just spamming like memes that had nothing to do with it. I think Hassan tweeted something and then just loads of like right-wing crypto bro accounts were just spamming memes under it which had nothing to do with what he tweeted. And it made me realize how outside of my own little leftist bubble on Twitter, the verified accounts are completely ruining the whole point of the site, and they're completely ruining everything, because if you are verified, your tweets get priority over those that aren't verified, and if you are verified, that means you paid for Twitter. And most of the time, if you paid for Twitter, it's because you couldn't gain a big following based on the quality of your posts, meaning you paid for it to elevate your voice. And the funniest thing is, still no one seems to care about these people despite them paying for Twitter. But at the same time, now if you go on like any prominent leftist tweet, underneath is just absolute insanity. And Elon Musk has been fostering this far-right audience himself, and recently was even posting about George Soros. Like, that is the bottom of the barrel that he's scraping. But don't worry, pandering and cultivating a far-right audience has come back to bite him, because he just appointed someone the new CEO of Twitter. And apparently now this is woke, this is selling out to the mainstream media, he's basically doing what the establishment want him to do. I thought you were different, Elon Musk, people tweeting, even Cat Turd turned against Elon Musk for doing this. Now, by simply appointing a woman as a new CEO, he alienated like 90% of verified ticks. But basically because she supported like bare minimum things during the pandemic, like getting vaccinated and wearing a mask, they think she's the worst person ever. Like, this is the audience he's cultivated by also pandering to the crowd who love medical misinformation. And in essence, he has basically turned it into a weird combination of what Twitter used to be and just like 4chan, because that seems to be where he gets his political opinions from anyway. So anyway, we're going to discuss all of that in the video, and we're going to look at some clear examples of how paying for verification just defeats the whole point of a social media platform like Twitter, because as we're going to go through on various examples, every post that gains a bit of traction, which isn't completely in lockstep with Elon Musk's own politics and promoting him, gets absolutely dogpiled by the most crazy Twitter accounts. Like, it's a massive dogpile, but in reality, you're just seeing their posts because they're verified. Even if there are like thousands of replies, even replies with more likes, you will just get given the verified stuff. So we're going to talk about all of that today. But before we go any further, please like the video, and in the comments, let me know what is the worst thing Elon Musk has done to Twitter. And also, speaking of Twitter, follow me on social media at the Kavernacle on Instagram and on Twitter. And also consider becoming a patron. I just launched my podcast yesterday on the main channel, so go check that out if you've missed it, talking about my personal political journey and also my journey to 100k subscribers. The second episode will be on my second channel, the Kavernacle Extra, and then the next episode will be exclusive for patrons. And like half the season, which I'm calling it, is exclusive to the patrons. So if you care about any of that, go check out the Patreon page. You also get access to the Discord server and my Nintendo Switch friend code and some bonus content from my travels, again, if you care about any of that stuff. And also check out my subreddit down in the description. So to start this part of the video, I wanted to elaborate a bit more on, I guess, Twitter meritocracy. So if you guys don't use Twitter much, how Twitter used to work, like most social media accounts, is verified accounts basically meant this person was the real version of this person, could be a celebrity or a politician, or this person is verified because I guess they are noteworthy and you want to know it's the real them as well. So it doesn't always have to be someone super famous. A lot of journalists, for example, with really small followings got verified ticks, so you know this is an actual journalist. Apart from that, most people on Twitter weren't verified, and to build a following, you had to post good stuff, and it often took years. Like, I've been on the Kavernacle Twitter since 2017. I have 10k followers. I follow about 300 people. That means most people don't follow me as a follow back. Most people either follow me because they've come over from the YouTube channel and they want to follow my Twitter, or because of my posts that have gone. Some of them have been pretty funny. I posted that one about the sword I found in Vietnam, which was made by a plane that had been shot down by Laotian communists, made into a sword and given to Vietnam. So people clearly follow me for some reason or another, but it isn't based on me paying to have my tweets boosted. I've never advertised it. I never took advantage of that feature in the past, having my posts promoted or advertised. And that's how Twitter used to be for everyone. Apart from the verified accounts, we'd all be in this together, and it was all basically based on how good your tweets were, or how relevant it was, or how funny they were. And although there were like bubbles, like leftist bubbles, conservative bubbles, where you would see, like, especially with conservative ones, like absolutely insane stuff, at the same time that could be countered by a random user and a group of people going over there. And anyone can pay for verification now, anyone. And you would think maybe left-wing people would do that too, but no, we are not giving money to a billionaire. So what happens is you have a mixture of Elon Musk sycophants, conservatives who just want to elevate their voice, and pathetic people. Like, football Twitter is full of this. People whose tweets who couldn't get any traction because they are terrible at posting, so they had to pay for Twitter to elevate their voice. And that's what you have a mixture of now in all the replies. You have far-right types who want to become legitimate and have also been let back on Twitter by Elon Musk. You had pretty sad people who couldn't get any following based on any sort of merit. And then you just have all the insane grifting Twitter accounts. And Twitter has just turned into Gab, it's turned into Parler, it's turned into 4chan. Now, some of you guys might not really know how 4chan works. And I guess it isn't a great parallel in terms of how it actually exists, because at least with 4chan, you can't pay to have your anonymous profile boosted. Basically how it works, you have different message boards, and then you have like these forums on different topics, and it times out after a while. Like, you can't just keep going back to it, and you move on. Obviously the site looks really old, hasn't changed much, and it originally was a spin-off of a Japanese version, and it was started to talk about anime. But one thing I want to talk about is the discussion board poll, which is where a lot of the far-right stuff on 4chan is from, but 4chan is anonymous, so you can say whatever you want. A lot of it is trolling, a lot of it is genuine, but what is funny about Twitter now is it seems like 4chan's poll, but most people aren't anonymous, so they're just emboldened to say absolutely crazy far-right stuff on Twitter itself. But that's what I was talking about when I say he's turned it into 4chan, because go look at poll on 4chan, apart from them using far more explicit language, thematically, I don't really see much of a difference than some of the stuff I'm going to read you today. But now let's start with Elon Musk, because Elon Musk, like I said, has been pandering to the far right over the last couple of years, because nothing makes a rich person pander to the far right than lefties absolutely roasting them and rejecting him. I'm just going to show you some of his Twitter from the last like 4 or 5 days. If you went back even further, you find this garbage all the time. So he tweets this the other day: Soros reminds me of Magneto, which obviously Soros and Magneto both survived World War II as Jewish children, remember that. Following up saying, you assume they are good intentions, they are not. He wants to erode the very fabric of civilization. Soros hates humanity. Now, as it turns out, it seems that George Soros actually dumped a bunch of Tesla stock. So that's why he's tweeting about George Soros being someone who wants to erode the fabric of humanity. And some of you idiots might be watching this and thinking, well, what's the problem? George Soros, very rich person, influential person, not necessarily a good person. You also are a complete idiot if you don't think he's pandering to a certain crowd by saying that George Soros is basically fundamentally evil, because George Soros, as this extremely rich Jewish man, has been the center of loads of insane American conservative conspiracy theories about him basically single-handedly like delivering elections for Democratic politicians, or funding the migrant caravan in 2018, being behind the refugee crisis in Europe from like 2013 onwards. There is so much stuff associated with him. If you're even saying his name in this way, and in a more vague way, he knows what he's doing there. He knows that he's pandering to these far-right American conservatives. Because also what is funny is Elon Musk is far richer than George Soros as well. So if we're talking about someone who's like more of a threat to humanity, I would always say it's someone like Elon Musk, not someone like George Soros. And also just the comparisons to like Magneto, I guess he's trying to say because Magneto hates humanity, but then you have the comparisons with like World War II stuff as well. So I don't really know. But obviously, bottom of the barrel, really pushing an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. The CEO of Twitter is doing this. So how emboldened do you think all of his followers are going to be in repeating this and also spreading their own ones? Spoiler, that is stuff that you're going to see on this video. Anyway, let's keep looking through his recent posts. And also, I want to know, we're going to see a lot of these people turn on Elon Musk at the end of this video. So keep in mind the stuff he's saying, because they're all going to start saying this back to him. Tweeting at this meme by one of Tim Pool's far-right co-hosts, people should wonder why specific tragic events are highlighted, replayed over and over for the biggest emotional effect. White assailant, white victim, black assailant, black victim, black assailant, white victim, white assailant, black victim. And Elon Musk says, accurate. So basically saying the media is highlighting this stuff. Netflix Race Stop Cleopatra show receives lowest rating in Rotten Tomatoes history. Rightly so. Did you watch it? I'm guessing not. You're just saying because Cleopatra is black in it that you think it deserves to be the worst show of all time. So obviously the head of Twitter tweeting medical misinformation. Someone posting some meme with a joker about how anti-vax people were treated. Elon Musk writes, until the Supreme Court struck down Biden's vax decree, he tried to demand that we fire all unvaxxed personnel. Some of our finest people. I don't really believe that some of the finest people working at Tesla and SpaceX were like anti-vax, but again, if he believes that. But then he also replied to another part of it saying, never forget how easily half the country was brainwashed into hating those who refuse to take Pfizer and Moderna's experimental mRNA injections. Elon Musk writes, COVID cult culture. Again, he's just pandering to the far right. I bet he had all these vaccines straight away, but don't worry, it's going to come back to bite him because of who he appointed the new CEO of Twitter. So Elon Musk, you know, facilitating the far right spread on Twitter, literally making it a massive haven for the far right, emboldening these people and agreeing with them, but don't worry, it's going to come back to bite him. So over the last 3 years or so, Elon Musk has just been pandering to the worst elements of American conservatism. You've seen it there. That is just like a microcosm of it. Go on his Twitter, keep browsing, go back a week, go back 2 weeks, go back a month, especially go through his replies. He literally exclusively interacts with either people who simp for him and are into Bitcoin or far-right American types, whether they be people pushing medical misinformation, people pushing conspiracy theories, people who are saying like the media over-exaggerates racism. But now I want to talk about how much of a cesspit Twitter has become thanks to his policies on verification. Like, what is even the point of verification now? Like, I don't care who some random person is with like 100 followers who follows like 10,000. But it seems like the point is Elon Musk kind of knows that nearly everyone who buys verification will be pro Elon Musk. And although he can frame it as anyone can do it, he knows a lot of people won't. So he's essentially drowning out anti-Elon Musk voices while promoting pro Elon Musk voices, but also at the same time, loads of right-wingers who might not even like him are still buying these accounts, and they're using it just to try and boost their profile and failing. But honestly, if you read a tweet from any verified account who isn't a right-winger, their replies are just going to be completely flooded with right-wingers. Now, here's another one about the recent attack in Allen Mall in Texas. Eric Toller posts a picture of the guy who did it. And he says his personal politics were very hard to figure out. Now, the right wing seem to believe that because this guy was Latino, there is no way he could be racist. Absolutely insane and obviously really ignorant of history, even the history of racism. The people who created the first racial hierarchy that reflects the one that we have today in the world were the Portuguese and the Spanish as they colonized the New World, right? So people who are from Latin America come from countries where this hierarchy was first implemented. And if you know anything about the history of racism as well, people in Latin America or people in Iberia, they thought they were white. They thought they were white, and it's only with Northern Europeans who would say, nah, you're not. Because look, you have dark features. I actually get this a lot on YouTube myself. People telling me I'm not white because I have dark eyes and dark hair and stuff like that. Although American racists don't view Latinos as white, that doesn't stop often Latinos and people from like Mediterranean Europe actually seeing themselves as white. Because being a part of a white race is completely made up. And I think that should be clear with how malleable it's been over history. But anyway, so he posts this. Seems pretty clear cut. Look at these tattoos. Now look at all the replies. They were National Socialists, so I guess he's an extreme leftist. How do you know this is him? Can't be racist unless you're white. And why aren't those tattoos in the picture that includes his face? How old are they? He's not white, so he can't be a white supremacist. Looks like he supports Ukraine, must be a Biden voter. Let me guess, he drove from Dallas to a white suburb because that's what a white nationalist would do. Trust me, bro. Clown-faced emoji. Looks like a huge fan of Ukraine. Totally fake and manufactured. Nice try, though. So you have a picture of the tattoos of someone who did a terrible crime and is motivated by the ideology that is on his body. And on Elon Musk's Twitter, all the replies to that evidence are people doubting it or saying that he's like a Biden supporter who supports Ukraine and stuff, because they know he would probably support their side. But that is like for everything now. It's just rife conspiracy theories. Everyone was saying this is a false flag operation to make conservatives look bad. Conservatives, what, you like this too? So he's making you look bad? So again, like, this is what Elon Musk's Twitter has become, is it's like the conspiracy subreddit mixed with 4chan poll, but that's the reply to everyone. Like, that guy isn't verified, he's just reporting on it, and those are all the top replies. And like I said, if there are other replies, they come nowhere near to the top. It's all filled with these, and some of these, like I said, don't have many likes, don't have much engagement, but that's the stuff you get because the people who pay for Twitter are more like these guys I've read you so far than not. So that's why you get no reasonable discussion, and it's just rife with right-wing conspiracy theories. But let's keep going anyway, because here's another one. This is nice. So recently, I might make a video on this week, there was a National Conservatism Conference in the UK, which was filled by some of the worst far-right people in UK politics, and Nadia Whittome, who's actually one of the few good MPs, called out one of their speeches which referenced cultural Marxism. She says, "Cultural Marxism is an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory supported by groups like the BNP. Disturbing to see another Tory MP spreading it after Suella Braverman did in 2019. We can't let far-right language be normalised in politics." And obviously Jordan Peterson is famous for normalising this term. It obviously builds on Judeo-Bolshevism, which was a popular conspiracy theory back in Germany in the 1930s and 40s. Anyone will tell you that it is rooted in anti-Semitism because it focuses on the Frankfurt School, a bunch of Marxist philosophers and academics who fled Germany in the 1930s, came to the US, and literally the conspiracy theory from Germany transferred into something else called cultural Marxism, but thematically is very similar in that it's actually Jewish Marxists are trying to destroy Western civilization. That's the common theme in both of them. Even if the cultural Marxism conspiracy theory doesn't necessarily say the Jews, it's very convenient that its origins are in Jewish Marxist intellectuals who fled from Germany, right? You can't deny this. Most people can agree, far-right conspiracy theory, but no. Every reply to this is actually telling her she's wrong. So Sargon of Akkad, I'm sorry that people are saying words you don't like. The problem is that other people have autonomy and you aren't in control of that. If you were, it would be slavery, and British people traditionally view it as a mortal sin, do they? You need to learn to be tolerant, I'm afraid. You're a ridiculous, unserious person, and that's coming from a guy that yells at a stick for a living. Yada yada, but do women have penises, love? Only a cultural Marxist would say they do. I'm far more concerned with far-left anti-Semitism. You definitely shouldn't be. Nice try, but most of the time when I see the term used, it has nothing to do with Jews. But hey, it's not like anyone expects a politician to be honest, spoken like a true Marxist. Well-documented issue, nice attempt to gaslight the world, but that's a 1 out of 10. No, we're not calling it anti-Semitic, and no, we're not going to stop pointing it out. What a load of nonsense. This is apologist nonsense. BDS is actually anti-Semitism. Cultural Marxism is actual historic reality. So again, don't let them gaslight you. You all see what's going on. We all see what's going on. So on Elon Musk's Twitter, if you are a British socialist politician who points out that the Tory party are using far-right conspiracy theories, you are then dogpiled by verified accounts telling you you're wrong and the far-right conspiracy theory is actually real. And those are all the top replies. Like, all the ones I showed you, from top to bottom, that's basically all I can find, right? I'd have to scroll for ages to find normal people who aren't verified agreeing with this tweet, right? So the only way now we can agree with it is retweet it or like it, because in the comments, it's just filled with the most racist garbage you see. And all of these people paying for Twitter are doing so to elevate their platform, but it's also representative of the average person who likes Elon Musk as well. And this is how he is literally turning Twitter, which I used to like a lot, into 4chan. Like, there cannot be any discussion now because it's completely dominated by this far-right American-influenced hive mind or just absolutely crazy conspiracy theories. So we've gone through a lot of terrible people, and you might have seen them pop up when we're talking about cultural Marxism, but there's also another group of people who have taken full advantage of Twitter verification, and that is people who are pro-Israeli, just flooding the mentions of anyone who criticizes Israel or just points out historic facts. So Jeremy Corbyn tweets, 75 years ago, over 750,000 Palestinians were violently expelled from their homes by Israeli forces. The Nakba did not end in 1948. Palestinians continued to resist a system of colonial dispossession and apartheid. Today, we renew our calls for a free and independent Palestine. Now, of course, in one of the two countries who is majorly influenced by both conservative groups who love Israel and the Israeli lobby, it's not surprising that this would ruffle a few feathers, but at the same time, you wouldn't really expect every single reply to be some fanatical pro-Israeli supporter, but that's what you get now. You have a guy posting, like, spamming a bunch of stuff in his mentions, which just fill up the top mentions. Like, this site is absolutely broken. People saying you will never be prime minister. Crybaby day is over. Apartheid, anti-Semitic. When will Jeremy Corbyn be expelled as a Labour member? Keir Starmer. Someone else saying this is a flat-out lie. And a historical distortion. The vast majority of Palestinians fled their homes to escape a war instigated by 5 Arab armies. They lost and have been playing the victim ever since. Again, top replies. Get off your high horse. Stop lying, commie anti-Semites. Lies. There was no such people as Palestinians 75 years ago. It was only invented by Arafat in the 60s. Oh, Jeremy, you just can't help yourself. You have to spread lies about the Jewish state. So that is what Elon Musk's verification system really enables. Of course, they're emboldened by the guy who's in charge of Twitter doing it himself. And I'm not even talking about how he has been cracking down on left-wing accounts as well, while unbanning terrible far-right accounts which were justly banned before. So they all feel emboldened anyway. But then he tweets like racist stuff, medical misinformation, promotes all these conservative voices, and you can see what a cesspit Twitter's becoming. And then anyone who will pay $8 a month or however much it is in their region can now go straight to the top in someone's mentions. Like I showed you, Jeremy Corbyn tweeting about Palestine, everyone replying is basically some far-right Zionist. Seeing someone call out a conspiracy theory, everyone in the comments saying, no, that conspiracy theory is real. And to the outside person, that looks like, you know, everyone who's replying to you. When in reality, most people replying to you are not verified, but because of a lack of meritocracy in posting, that's what happens now. But maybe Elon Musk wishes he toned it down a little bit, because he actually announced he is stepping down as a CEO and someone else is becoming the CEO. And this rabble that he has pandered to for the last year or so, they were not happy at all. They were really not happy. They think it's the death of Elon Twitter. So he writes the other day, I'm excited to welcome Linda Yaccarino as the new CEO of Twitter. She will focus primarily on business operations while I focus on the product design and new tech. Looking forward to working with Linda to transform this platform into X, the everything app. So I guess Twitter is changing to something even more garbage. But don't worry, Elon. The verified system and all your simps buying it backfires, because if you go on this tweet, everyone's hating on him. Hat Turd, one of the biggest simps for Elon Musk, and actually Elon Musk works as basically his personal assistant. He writes, Elon Musk, the woke mind virus is a threat to the world. Also, Elon Musk, I just hired a far-left loon deeply infected with the woke mind virus to run Twitter. Twitter 2.0 was fun while it lasted, but get ready for it to suck again. Someone else saying, during her interview with you, she was most excited about your initiative to limit reach of tweets which are deemed hateful. Freedom of speech, not freedom of reach. He writes, I hear your concerns, but don't judge too early. I am adamant about defending free speech, even if it means losing money. So before we get into more tweets, you guys will need some context into who this person is to understand what they're even saying. So Sky News did a little profile on Yaccarino. So a graduate of Pennsylvania State University, Miss Yaccarino built her career as an advertising executive, having first held a variety of roles at Turner Broadcasting System, Inc., a global broadcasting company that is now owned by Warner Brothers. Starting out in media sales outlets from 1996 to 2011, she worked her way up to holding the positions of both Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer before joining NBC Universal. So, political involvement. Some critics have questioned Yacarino's political leanings, having previously worked closely for both the Trump and Biden administrations. In 2018, Trump appointed her to serve on his Council of Sports Fitness and Nutrition. Then, as chair of the Ad Council in both 2021 and 2022, she worked with Biden and the White House to help create a coronavirus vaccination campaign that reached over 200 million Americans. Miss Yacarino also serves as chairman of the World Economic Forum's Task Force on the Future of Work, a wordy title that ultimately means helping decision makers from both the public and private sectors train workers in low carbon and high tech economies. So someone who has been a higher up in corporations, done a lot of advertising work, but obviously you can see the problem there with Elon Musk and what he's cultivated. You're hiring someone who worked with Biden to make a vax campaign. And he also hired someone who works with the World Economic Forum, something that Elon Musk has also constantly called out as well. And although she has worked with Donald Trump, with the audience he's cultivated on Twitter, I don't think many of them care about that. And indeed they don't. So here is more tweets now that you have some context. So, and again, all verified accounts, you reap what you sow. WEF member, agent of the New World Order, just like you can't fool me, Elon. And she'll welcome back the shadow bans of conservatives and anyone who doesn't bow to the trans agenda. Seriously, why did you go through the trouble of buying Twitter just to reinstate a woke CEO? She's literally a WEF executive board member. Poor move, my Elon. Terrible choice. WEF is antithetical to freedom and truth, and synonymous with misinformation and authoritarianism. Why choose someone with a prominent part in that organization? Are you trolling us or what? I thought major decisions would be brought to the people for a poll. The WEF brings nothing good to the world or humanity. I cannot support this. Twitter CEO Linda Yaccarino is a social justice warrior. This is going to be a disaster. She's already pandering to liberal ideology. She was sponsored by Pfizer, Fauci's mouthpiece, and worked for the Biden White House. Mask up or pack up, which she says, your new CEO seems a bit intolerant. Was dictator-style leadership part of the job requirement? Yaccarino is a middle-aged liberal white woman who spent her whole career in corporate media. All these people do is destroy in the name of their fake woke religion. When Elon lures us in with free speech, only to appoint a globalist as CEO. How could you do this to us? She's a huge social justice advocate and a mask-wearing absolutist. Neither support free speech. So one more. As a Canadian, I have to give Elon Musk a dire warning here. While I thank him for unbanning my account and returning free speech to Twitter, Canada has been destroyed by my gov, working directly with the WEF. I have no choice but to pull my subscription until she's gone. She retweeted Elon saying, thank you Elon Musk, I've been long inspired by your vision to create a brighter future. I'm excited to help bring this vision to Twitter and transform this business together. And just in the comments, just more unhinged stuff. Denounce WEF and your wokeism ties. Are vaccines your religion? Will you deboost or censor medical misinformation? How about you explain your connections to the World Economic Forum and your views on free speech? Please also address whether you're still a big supporter of masking and vaccines. Do tell. So I think that is a really nice end to this video of how Elon Musk is just totally destroying any sort of like rational thought on Twitter, in that you've seen how this verification stuff affects people who don't agree with Elon Musk, people who are left-wing, people who point out facts. You see how Elon Musk spreads far-right conspiracy theories, spreads medical misinformation, emboldens these types on Twitter, unbans their account. But now it's coming back to bite him. The new CEO got her job because she's good at advertising. It's no secret that Twitter's value is absolutely tanking, and loads of advertisers have completely forsaken the platform entirely because they see it for what I'm showing you right now. Basically like a social media version of 4chan. I think Elon Musk probably has terrible right-wing politics anyway, but it's pretty clear with a lot of his stuff, he's just pandering. But when you create like this hive mind of Twitter verified users who like what you say, and then you appoint someone like this, they're never going to agree with it. But at the same time, why is he appointing someone like this? He probably could expect some sort of backlash. It's because he wants to make money still. It's because at the very least, he doesn't want Twitter to like bankrupt him and have a massive loss. So he's hoping this person can turn it around. But if you actually want someone to turn it around in the corporate environment, you actually have to hire someone who's had some degree of success. Because unlike Elon, from what I've seen, she worked her way up and has been good at her job. So she got hired to turn it around at Twitter. But at the same time, she comes with this baggage of helping Biden and being part of the World Economic Forum. So your fanatical verified zealots aren't going to accept that at all. And it's funny like how low the bar is now. Because she wore a mask, they hate her. Elon Musk is reaping what he sows. These people are turning on him because he's cultivated new Twitter as a certain thing. He's allowed these types to have like free reign over everything, harass people, say what they want, tweet what they want, tweet all these insane conspiracy theories, videos. And not only does he allow that to happen, he often comments on them, agreeing with them as well, while spreading his own medical misinformation on this platform. But then it is a bit refreshing to see these people absolutely turn on him because he is pandering. He's pandering because he knows American conservatives are idiots who will simp for him if he just says stuff that they like. But yeah, I used to enjoy Twitter. Let's hope a new alternative emerges, which is better and doesn't just result in everything a famous left-wing person tweeting getting absolutely brigaded by verified ticks who just completely fill up the comment section. But anyway, that is it for the video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. And if you made it this far, thank you for watching.